Dear students, good morning to all of you. I'm gonna deliver a lecture on a very important topic that why politics matter and how do we study politics. This is gonna be a very interesting topic, as we all know that some people they don't look at politics in a very good manner. They say it is not a good game or it is not relevant for all people, and they have a different understanding about politics. But I do not believe that they are right. I think uh, they may be wrong, uh, and that's what here in this lecture I am going to make it very clear why do we study politics, and how we are going to study politics is going to be a very important topic uh, of today's lecture. First is man. Some of the by citing some of the important principles and trajectories, it is going to be a very relevant topic for all of us. First, I want to say why man is by nature a social and political animal. Man is by nature a social and political animal. So, as we look at the nature of human beings, it is the human beings by nature are social, and they have the social nature. Because of the social nature, they want to live within a society, and they believe in interdependence, because nobody in the world can claim to live in isolationism. We all are human beings, and our needs are dependent on one another, and therefore we can say man is a social, and he has this social gregariousness, this social nature to live in a very compatible manner in cooperation with other society, with other social groups, and with other individuals, with many and with other colleagues within a society, because it is complementary, or it is mandatory for any human being to live in a society, because he can't live a good life without a society. That's why the the father of political science, Aristotle, has very clearly mentioned that man is by nature a social and political animal. Only those people can live outside the society who are beast or and God, because either beast, they don't need this society, this order, and this governance, or God, and he's very much powerful, and he doesn't need anyone's support or anybody, because he's God, he's absolute, he's powerful, he's supreme. But when it comes to the human beings, they are social, and they can only succeed, they can only survive once they are part and parcel of the society. So therefore we can say man is by nature, it is in the nature of the human beings that they are a social animal, and they want to live in a society, and their demands are dependent one another, and they are part and parcel of the society, a human society where they live. And second is that political animal. When we say this political animal, it means that why do we say man is a political animal? First we say man is a social animal. Now we are going to say that man is a political animal. This is not my understanding, but the greatest political thinker, Aristotle, has mentioned that man is by nature a political animal, because he can only live within a political community. When we say political community means a community which is organized. A political community means a community which is well organized, and where there is a good governance, there is an order. It is not the might is right, where might is right is prevailing over there. Rather, it is a society which is in order, and justice is prevailing over there, and it is a political community where the order is the most, it is well organized, and it is in order, and this society works according to the rule of law. And therefore, I think we are well clear that man by nature is a social and political animal, and therefore human beings can only live, or any human being or any man can only live within a society. He can't have a good life outside the society, and he can have a security, he can have a good governance, he can have a survival. His survival is possible, his security is possible, his benefits are possible within a political community, that means within a state. The second point which I am going to make it here is very important, that is politics is an authoritative allocation of values. When we look into the politics, then we say it is the duty of the state to allocate to the services to the people. So state is for the purpose to provide security, to provide jobs, to provide value added services to the people, and to distribute among the people, because it is the one of the important function of the state of any political system, to convert the demands of the people into decision making process. So conversion of demands of the people into decision making process is one of the important function of any state. And therefore we can say politics is in an authority, there is an authority, it is the most powerful authority, it is the most powerful political entity, which is state, and its most important duty is to allocate or to distribute the value added services among the people. Politics is a process of cooperation. This is the third point which I am trying to make it here. And politics is a process of cooperation, competition, conflict, and conflict resolution. So when we say politics is the process of cooperation, competition, and conflict resolution, so there are three terms which I want to make it clear. First is politics. What do we mean by politics here? Politics is the process of cooperation. So it is the method of cooperation. It is an instrument of cooperation which tells us that we can only survive when once we are in cooperation. Unity, and there is a phrase which we all know, that in unity we survive, we succeed, and in division we fall. When we are united, we can succeed, we can move ahead, we can go towards prosperity, and once we are divided, we can fall, and then we are leading towards decay. So once the human beings live in a society, they need a cooperation of one another. But after the passage of time, after when a lot of period is passing, then what we see, a lot of competition arises in our society. And this competition is something which where the greed of power or the lust of power becomes very important trajectory, or important idea, for which most of the people are striving for, and that competition creates had a conflict. And conflict, once there is a conflict in our society, then we have to search out the method or means to resolve that conflict. And for that purpose, we believe that politics is the method of conflict resolution, it is the method of conflict transformation, it is the method of conflict reconciliation. So once there is any conflict arises, any eruption arises, any problem arises because of competition, then we have this method, which is political method, where we use dialogue, where we use negotiation, where we deliberate upon many issues, and we say that we have to resolve, we have to overcome, or we have to rectify these weaknesses or these problems, and we have to resolve these issues amicably. Therefore we believe politics is the method of conflict resolution. And the fourth point is, politics is about studying individual and group behavior. This is also very important, and many people are actually not, when they define or when they talk about politics, they don't understand it in a way where they miss this part. That is, politics is also about studying individual and group behavior. how different individuals and groups they behave under different political circumstances, under different political environment, under different political systems, and what do they want, what are their expectations, and what are they looking for, and what are their aims and objectives, why they are giving their consent to their leaders, and what are they are expecting from those leaders, in return. So for example, if uh, there are three parties within an election who are contesting election, uh, there are maybe different people having different political expectations, and they will be supporting different political parties, and their expectation would be different. Somebody, if the person A is actually having the political campaign and conversing on the issue of that we are going to give the daily electricity to the people, and there may be some people who may be inclined to this idea, and they are going to support that party A, or party B. It depends who is having what agenda, and it depends upon one's choice, the individual choice, the group's choice. So one can give power or consent to a particular political party because of the reason what actually that individual and those groups actually they are demanding, and what are their expectations from that party. Okay, so in return, it is not like a politics doesn't work in vacuum. Okay, politics doesn't work in vacuum. So there are always demands and issues. There is also support. There is also input and output politics, which is very important. Politics is about who gets what, when, and how. This is the another issue that for example, some people, politics, when we say politics is about who gets what, when, and how, it means it is about who is going to have the power, who is going to create the influence on our society, and who is going to get how much of power. So it is all about dominating, it is all about overwhelming, it is all about monopoly, it is all about receiving more and more power. So that's why Hans Morgenthau, who is a realist scholar, has also mentioned and articulated about politics is about, it is a struggle for power among nations. And some people would also attach politics with decision making process, that how people are making their decisions, how the government are making the decisions, how the different bodies are taking the decisions within a society. So policy, it is about policy making, policy implementation, and policy adjudication. Then also politics is a struggle for power among nations. As I mentioned in my earlier lectures, that power is the central theme of politics. Power is the very important idea. It is an very important instrument for which most of the political parties are working. For almost all the political parties, they want power. They want to maximize power, and all nation states, they are actually looking for power, they are interested in power. And same is happening when different political parties are contesting elections. During the contesting elections, so their main demand is to grab political power, to maximize political power, to be in power, to win the election, and to form the government. Thank you so much for understanding my lecture. Especially I am developing these important lectures for my students who needs my support, and I will be always at their disposal. So one point which I am going to make it clear here, that is, in summation we can say, so politics, we should not accept the layman's definition of politics. We should not say that politics is irrelevant. We should not believe that how some of the people in our society, they look at politics. I think society without good politics, without a strong politics, our society can move towards decay, and it can go towards devastation if the proper politics, proper leadership would not be there. So therefore we can say these politics is always always needed in order to succeed, in order to succeed ourselves, in order to protect our interests within our society, in order to move ahead, in order to resolve the conflicts. and in order to give our consent to different political parties, trying to understand what are what are our expectations and what do we people want from them, and how we are going to make a bigger change in our society. Thank you so much for hearing my lecture. See you next time in another lecture. Thank you again.